Hello, everyone. For those of you who do not know me, I'm Tom Millias. I'm currently serving as chair of the Board of Selectmen, and I am once more a candidate for Selectmen. My relevant background, other than municipal, has been in real estate, a licensed broker for some 40 years, home building, and general contracting. My first involvement in town government was to serve on the Silver Lake Regional School Committee for 5 years, chairing the Land and Building Subcommittee. After those 5 years, I left to concentrate on making a living and raising my new family. In 1992, I was elected to the Board of Assessors, where I still serve. In 1997, I was appointed as the building inspector. At that time, the growth in Halifax was at a pace to reach as many as 60 new housing units a year, a huge challenge for this community to absorb, and a part-time department with no support staff, with only a desk, one filing cabinet, a typewriter, and a rotary telephone. In 2012, I also became the certified building official in the town of Plimpton on an as-available basis, and I continue to serve in that capacity. In 2015, I was fortunate enough to be able to retire. That's the point at which I made the choice to give back to Halifax for the opportunity to provide for and raise my family, and now my grandson, in a wonderful, close-knit community. I made the decision to run for selectman, knowing I had the financial and operational talents needed based on my background, my 18 years on the job, years on the Board of Assessors, and having been involved in all the relevant events in the town's recent history. I could offer unique overall knowledge of the town, along with institutional memory and historical perspective. I would not have run if I thought I couldn't perform the job with integrity and competence, and I was honored when my fellow residents elected me as selectman. I have done everything in my power to earn and keep the trust put in me. I felt then, and I know now, that I have what is needed to make the hard choices. Not to say always the most popular choices, but the choices necessary for the best interests of our shared community. And what a year we have just gone through to showcase how important effective and competent leadership is. One demonstration of that was having in place a most devoted and dedicated team of town employees that served superbly under the most difficult of conditions during this unprecedented year of challenge. That brings us to why I chose to run once more. I truthfully had no intention of seeking another term, especially at this time, in this new era of ugly politics. It seems looking to win by distortions, manipulation of facts, innuendos, unsubstantiated accusations, and yes, even outright lies has become an effective way to gain traction for a campaign when you have nothing else to offer. Unfortunately, those ugly politics have found their way to Halifax. Why then did I choose to run? I felt no one with enough background and lack of personal agenda was coming forward to fill the position. My opponent had opportunities to pursue vacancies on the boards, such as Finance Committee, the Wage and Personnel Board, and did not. Both great learning opportunities. There was a race for assessor last year, where the incumbent went unopposed. Another opportunity missed. Instead, my opponent allowed herself to be promoted by and endorsed, despite being a lesser, if not the least qualified candidate to fill an unexpired term on the planning board, by her mentor, Selectmen Andrews. Selectmen Andrews, who was engaged in numerous lawsuits against your town, who needed all the support possible on the planning board to aid in his efforts to prevail. and continues to need support now on the Board of Selectmen. Again, the same Selectmen Andrews, whose most recent legal assault names the Planning Board, the Zoning Board of Appeals, the Board of Selectmen, myself, the Town Administrator, the Building Inspector, and a member of the Zoning Board of Appeals, suggesting some giant conspiracy against him. Absurd. Once again, the same Selectman Andrews, who has twice stood at town meeting and moved to defund the law account, while not telling you that what we were being asked to do was to leave the town unable to defend itself against his actions. Defunding the law account would have left the town defenseless against my opponent's mentor and the potential actions of the involved developers, posing a threat of substantial financial implications for Halifax. My opponent and the rest of her team was right there, not defending you. In fact, my opponent did nothing to aid you and thus effectively worked against you in support of Selectman Andrews. My opponent has gone on to conduct an unprecedented, if not desperate, campaign and subjected my candidacy to countless accusations, distortions, manipulations of facts, and fabrications, and those are just the nice things. My opponent's talking points are being provided by her mentor, Selectman Andrews, who would simply like me out of his way. As Selectman Andrews and my opponent, Ms. DeSessa, like to repeat, wish he would just ride off into the sunset. I could not do that and leave you in harm's way. She has simply been lying and spreading innuendo in an effort to deceive voters for support. But I have more faith and respect for the town and its residents. Fortunately, I know the people of Halifax have common sense and the ability to look at the facts and think for themselves. I am confident the various lies being spread will not survive when people look at the facts and consider the improper motives of my opponent. I offer my candidacy and ask for your vote to help preserve the best of what we have, plan for our future, while not leaving that future to the whims of self-interest. Like me, don't like me. Vote for me or don't vote for me. But please vote accurately informed. Don't do the town or yourself a disservice. Reach out, ask me. I have nothing to hide and will gladly answer any and all questions. Thank you, and see you at the polls.